Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools.
Welcome to the Jim Reith Show Unleashed podcast, episode number 65. Producer Bill and I are, as you can see, safely ensconced in the inner sanctum, even though it's
there I
still,
am.
There you go. It's still freezing outside.
I'm the guy on the buttons now.
We gotta get right to it.
He's here.
Our guest is already here, which is amazing. It's the Honorable William Fitzpatrick, the District Attorney of Onondaga County. Esquire, how are you?
I'm good. Good to see you guys.
You look Esquire-ish.
You look like you're outside. You're heat on the fritz or what?
Just came in, man. It's cold down here. I'll tell you what. The inner sanctum can get cold.
Yeah, I got to get a space heater down for the inner sanctum.
Colder than a DA's heart.
All right. I'm so happy to have you here because you certainly are a nationally known Republican. The National Committee certainly knows who you are, and you took a stand against what ICE has done in Minneapolis. And the reason that you gave was simple. Why don't you walk me through that and walk the people who don't know what you did through that?
The New York State DA's Association, we held our annual, excuse me, Jimmy, winter conference in New York last week, and the governor's office. She spoke at our luncheon, and earlier that day, her staff had reached out to me and see if I would appear with her regarding her position on ICE. And I said, well, what's her position? And it was something that I agreed with. Most jurisdictions in New York State, frankly, agree that they will not deputize their local police departments or sheriff's offices to participate in civil immigration matters. And I know the consequences of that. I'm being called rhino and all nonsense. It's so sad how political dialogue in this country has gotten. It's if you say, I don't think young children should be allowed to possess a bazooka, then all of a sudden,
rhino,
anti-Second Amendment, and you want to disarm everyone. It's nuts. But the tipping point for me was this gay couple. I think they work at Upstate.
Yep, that's right.
And I don't know the gentleman. I wish I knew them. They seem like really wonderful people. And that's not what we signed up for. People that voted for Donald Trump wanted a secure border. That's been accomplished. They also wanted people who are sponges on society, people who come here for no other reason than to get on public assistance or defraud us out of public assistance, or have committed a crime in their host country, or are mental patients. And, I'm sure I'm leaving out a couple of categories, but basically that's what we signed up for.
Right.
These two guys, they fled Cuba. I saw somebody, post that, well, Cuba has, human rights. Okay. Yeah. The Soviet Union had a First Amendment also. Okay. I don't recall too many people, criticizing Brezhnev, who born in the Gulag later that day. It's nuts. But anyway, they played by the rules. They announced their presence. They found employment. They own a home in North Syracuse. What's going to happen to the home? Is that going to be is it going to be boarded up off the tax rolls? According to their co-workers quoted in Syracuse.com, these guys are great workers. They're beloved. And some genius made the decision to send them to Ecuador. Ecuador? They've never been to Ecuador. They know as much about Ecuador as I do. I may even know a little bit more.
Probably.
I've actually been to Ecuador, but it's nuts. And I don't think it's particularly controversial. You want to call me a rhino? Go right ahead. You can call me anything you want. I got thick skin. But another thing too, Jim, is that statewide, about 6 months ago, I joined with a wide variety of DAs throughout the state, a bipartisan group objecting to ICE taking our defendants out of our jails. So
Wow.
if I've got a defendant, and I have not had this problem, I have a good relationship with the local people that work for ICE here. We have worked cooperatively in the past and will work cooperatively in the future.
Okay.
But if I have a defendant who's charged with raping a child, I think a lot of people would say, go, get him out of here, send him back to wherever he came from. Well, then what happens to him?
Right. No justice for the kid, certainly. He gets deported and just goes free off the plane. That's
they don't want them. They don't want. If I send a guy back to Mexico, he'll sneak in across the Rio Grande a month from now and rape another kid.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
I didn't know they were doing that. That's not right.
I have some good friends in the immigrant community, particularly Ty Shaw. I'm sure you know Ty. He's an unbelievable community activist, and he has me come speak to his immigrant communities frequently. And the message I give to them is that, and keep in mind, Jim, as you know, a lot of the immigrant community is distrustful of law enforcement.
Yes, very.
Because they came from oppressive regimes where there was no due process.
No.
And it takes a while for them to realize, hey, America is really a fair system. So I encourage them. I say, look, I'm not in the deportation business. I'm in the justice business. If you're assaulted, if you're a victim of domestic violence, if you've been defrauded, if you've been robbed, a lot of people also, for an extension of that distrust, a lot of them don't trust banks, and they keep, unfortunately, they keep large amounts of cash at home. And this becomes territory for the gang members in Syracuse to think that they'll be easy pickings because they're not going to come to court and testify. Well, we encourage them to come. I have a support system to allow them to come to court and testify. And what's going to happen to that if they start getting arrested?
Oh, man.
Forget it. Katie barred the door.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, a lot of people came from places where if the police came, you were gone, and then that was it. And now they don't trust police to begin with. But now, you must be finding that it's much harder to get that community to open up about anything now to law enforcement.
Yes, and the only way you do it is by doing what Ty encourages me to do, namely come to the communities, let them get to know you, speak to them. I've actually hired some immigrant families' children as interns here in the office, which is invaluable in getting the message out to that community as to what we
absolutely.
Yeah.
Even just translation, I mean, is a problem, especially with the older population. Fitz, you did the right thing. That's the thing that really got Bill and my attention. That you said, here's why I did it. It's the right thing to do. So if more of us did that, I mean, it's the hardest thing to do almost always, the right thing, right? So you did it. You stood up. You're nationally recognized. And I hope more people, follow your lead. I really do.
I appreciate that, Jimmy. I appreciate that a lot coming from you. You're a class act.
Thank you, Fitz, and it's great to have you. I really appreciate you moving your schedule around for us. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll see you guys on the rebound next time I get called a rhino or something.
Next time they go after you, we'll call you.
Yeah, give me a shout.
Thanks, Fitz.
We'll talk to you about baseball next time.
Absolutely.
All right.
There
good.
We go.
We'll see you later.
Awesome, dude. Man, I love him. God,
see?
What a guy. See, here's the thing. Spike Lee's movie, Do the Right Thing. That's it. When he goes up to Ozzy and says, I've been looking for you all over the place. What's the wisdom you want to give me? He just says, do the right thing. That's it.
It's right there on that shelf. One of my favorites. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, if you see how he explained it, and it makes sense.
Perfect sense. Yes.
Makes sense.
Now, I didn't know that they were taking defendants from, jail. That's not right.
Nope.
Now, I understand they're criminals. Okay. You're right. So let's convict them. And then if they have to do their sentence, then they get deported. That's what happens when a illegal immigrant is arrested, especially for a felony, and convicted for a felony. They do their time and then they're out. So if like he gave the example of the raping of a child, what do you think he's going to do when they deport him to Mexico? I mean, come on. So I'm so happy that he spoke out. And now we need more, Republicans to speak out loudly about what's going on in this country, because it's really not good. We have a chance to get to the Yahoo of the week. This was like shooting fish in a barrel. It's it's the anti Super Bowl halftime crowd. Kid Rock.
I don't get it, man.
Kid Rock's 55. Okay.
Yes.
And some country guys who were, they were stars probably like 10 years ago or something. And
now one of the guys, Lee Bryce.
Lee Bryce.
I'm gonna tell you a story about Lee Bryce.
All right. Is that the one that's all jacked up?
No, that's Brantley Gilbert.
Oh, okay.
He's like more of a rock.
Yeah, country rock, right?
I've seen him a couple times. Very good.
Yeah.
Now Lee Bryce was a songwriter out of Nashville, and was in Nashville, striking out in the Nashville airport. Gets a phone call, came up unknown. He answered it, and the guy on the other line goes, "Lee, this is Garth Brooks," and he hung up the phone because he thought it was one of his friends that was pranking him.
Right.
Phone rang again. Unknown. Lee, it's Garth Brooks. That phone call turned his life and his career around. He wrote a song called More Than a Memory.
About that?
And no, More Than a Memory is
just became a hit.
It was, yeah. He wrote the song More Than a Memory, and Garth wanted to record it.
Oh, no kidding.
So that turned his
career
around. He was on his way home.
That'll do it.
Going home.
No kidding.
Gonna go work at the grocery store or whatever. Got the call from Garth, and
that's pretty cool.
More Than a Memory. That's a few years. It's 15 years old. That song. 15.
Yeah.
So
my thing would be this: the other acts are actually fine. Kid Rock. I mean, come on. So people who are MAGA and believe that Kid Rock should be the voice of MAGA have never listened to his catalog, because Mr. Rock has brutal lyrics,
especially the first stuff that came out.
Yes. And that was his whole thing. He was nasty and over the top, so he has a song called Don't Tell Me How to Live. And the first line talks about F-bomb hoes. Okay. That's how the song starts. All right. And then his other one is Never Met a MF Like Me.
There you go.
Says it all, man.
I want to say on one of his early albums, and I want to say maybe the first one, even the one before Devil Without a Cause, there's a song that I think he wrote about or for or mentions Ed Levine in it.
Really?
I think that was the thing back in the day.
That would be interesting. Oh, we got to get a hold of that.
We got to figure out. I can figure out. It was back when the album, when I was working in record stores back in the day.
Yeah.
That whole thing came out. Where, let me see. You can Google it. Look at that. Thought you could Google it. My phone's been weird lately.
Anyway, while we get to that, Chuck Negron passed away.
Yes.
I believe the last surviving member of the original Three Dog Night. He was 83. Chuck is a favorite of mine because he sent me his book autographed, and we talked about Three Dog Night, and we talked about why it broke up, and it was all his fault. And he dropped an F-bomb on my show, and we got along famously. He was great. I thought he was great. I loved Three Dog Night as a kid in high school. They were number one in the world, then even bigger than the Stones. They had, in fact, I wrote it down. They had 21 consecutive top 40 hits.
Wow.
21 consecutive top 40 hits. So he was great to interview, and it's a sad day that he's passed away.
I have just about a full, of what I remember. I have it in my computer. You asked me to do a couple weeks ago to jot down the celebrities.
Yeah.
Maybe next episode we'll go through that list, and
great.
I'll name the celebrity and see if you can remember when they were on.
Excellent.
With the big one being Robert Goulet.
Yeah. No, I won't remember years at all.
No, well, but you remember. I
remember them, and maybe I'll add a story or two. Yeah, because I'm writing about that right now, actually. So may do that. Just Joe's here. Let's bring him in.
Is he ready to go?
Is he ready to go?
Yeah. Oh,
is he running around?
Do I got to turn my camera the other way?
No, you're good. You're good.
Right. Sometimes like, you got to turn your camera this way. I'm just like,
no, you're good.
Running around with my chicken, my head cut off this morning. So
this is our friend Joe Altier, Just Joe, who of course does the theme song for us, but he has a much more exciting song to talk about.
My shadow knows my story.
Straight up.
My shadow knows my story.
That's so killer.
Dude.
There it is.
Wow. That is awesome. Holy cow. How did you?
I don't hear you guys. Where'd you go?
Uh-oh.
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 Can you hear us?
We better back out and maybe.
I can't hear you.
It's got to be on his end.
Hold on. I'm going to remove you and put you back in.
All right.
Did that work? No?
No? Nothing?
Oh, hold on. Let me do this. How's that? Can you hear us now? Still can't hear us.
That's weird.
That's odd.
Did you switch something when you put the video on?
I didn't.
Huh.
Maybe I have to leave and come back.
Yeah, try that.
Okay.
We're live, folks.
Yeah.
And, this kind of thing happens, but that's right. That is unbelievable.
Dude. And I had no idea. And, he texted me after it happened. I was gone. And he texted me. He's like, "Did you see this?" And I'm like, "No," because we all knew that he was going to that Tommaso. So the wrestler that is AEW. He was just in the WWE. Tommaso Ciampa, and he left, and he just showed up on AEW. And he'll give the story here if we can get him back in.
Yeah, it must be on his end.
Yeah.
Can you take him out of the screen or whatever? Maybe it'll make it easier to. There you go.
There we go.
Wow. I mean, his voice, holy cow. I didn't know he had that in him. Are you kidding me? Well, Brand New Sin, of course.
That was,
that
was the.
Wow, man, that's really cool.
That's not the first time he's done.
No, he did another one, right?
So he started out with a Big Show back in WWE days. This is like 20 years ago plus, And I remember I was sitting at Max Bad Art Bar hosting karaoke for them.
Max Bad Art
and
Bar.
a couple of the Brand New Sin guys came in, including Joe. And he's like, "I gotta play something for you, but you can't play it on the speakers." And it was that he
oh my gosh.
put it in. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there he is. Okay, good.
There.
I was just telling a story about
who knows what it was. Gremlin.
The day you walked into Max Bad Art Bar with a CD of the Big Show.
Oh yeah.
Theme. That's how it all started for you with the wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
You did a show with Motorhead.
Yeah,
right?
we're on tour of Motorhead. We're in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, at the Hampton Beach Casino, which is not a casino like we think casino. We think a turning stone. Like casino means gathering place. The first time we ever played there, we're like, "Oh, it's a casino." I'm like, no, it's a gathering place. So it's just huge ballrooms. So yeah, we played there. And super long story short, but Stephanie and Triple H live in that area. And they're just outside of Boston. So they came up to hang out with the Motorhead people, and they got there early enough because the Motorhead people were like, "Hey, you got to come up and see the opening band. I think you're going to dig them." And that kind of, they loved it. We hung out with them for the rest of the night. They were like, "We're going to go make this happen." And they did. So, that was May of 2005. Yeah.
It was about 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's 20 some odd years ago. So that was where this whole, that was where the little snowball started going down the hill, and from there here we are now, so.
That's amazing. That just, and that happens how it happens, I guess, sometimes from musicians, right? I mean, somebody hears you when they're really not here to hear you, and they do, right? And they're like, "Wow, we got to get this dude."
I tell people all the time, I go, you never know.
Absolutely.
Whether it's in person, whether you're at a gig where you don't think anybody's paying attention, or there's nobody there, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I can sit here and tell you 20 stories of I didn't think that was going to happen, and all of a sudden it opened a door. But and then years later, and obviously how this all came about with the AEW goes back to, again, the Big Show, when he left AEW and he left WWE and landed in AEW. And that was a crazy story because somebody was on Twitter then. It was this was 2001. summer of 2001, and then someone hits me up. They're like, "Hey, somebody's trying to find you on Twitter," and I don't really use Twitter.
2021.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'll go over there. And then it was Mikey Ruckus, Mikey Ruckus is the music producer for pretty much everything you hear for AEW. He's the house guy. He's the Jim Johnstone, who was the guy for the WWE for decades.
That wrote all the classic,
even the Big Show song.
Yep.
So Mikey reached out to me that day, and that was when him and I quickly put together the Big Show theme song, which was already, Paul White at that point. He put that theme song together, but that one was already written. So all I had to do was just sing it, just like I did with the WWE one. This one, and I think this is where we're going with this whole story, right?
Yes.
I'm hijacking the question, but so last Monday, I'm done. I had a little meeting on my phone. I'm like, I'm going to go in my studio. I do a lot of freelance work now, and so I was going in there just kind of making notes of the projects I had to get done for the week, the content I was going to create, just kind of making a plan. And all of a sudden I get a phone call from Mikey Ruckus again. He's like, and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, hey, he goes, we got another theme song. I'm like, well, who's this for? And he's like, Tommaso Ciampa. I'm like, Tommaso? Well, I'm like, when did he leave? He's like, he just left WWE.
Wow.
So this was all right. Well, between us, and I don't think everyone will hear it, Tommaso wants everyone to think it happened on Tuesday, make it sound a little more dramatic. But it happened Monday. And basically, this was at 1:00 on Monday. Mikey's like, yeah, I got a music bed and I got a couple rough ideas, but you're going to get to co-write this one. And that one, that's huge. For me to get a co-write on something like that.
Absolutely.
Was amazing. But the pressure was also on. Before it was just like, it's the pressure of just singing it. I can do that. But now I got to help shape a very memorable and popular wrestler. And it's like writing a commercial jingle. It sounds like it's fun, but you got to get people to like, safe light repair, safe light replace. That's it. That's all they say. And it's in your fucking head, or Aflac, all those things. You got to pull those people in. And when wrestling, someone's like, you got 10 seconds to get to people know who you are. I'm like, no, you got 1 second, 2 seconds. They got to hear that noise and immediately know who the fuck is coming out. Right.
Yep.
So Mikey luckily had the framework for everything. And then Tommaso sent Mikey ideas for vocals, ideas of what he wanted the thing. He goes, I want my shadows knows my story, and a couple other ideas. And that was it. And Mikey's like, I'll get it to you in an hour. Can you get this done as soon as possible? So by the time I got it was like 2:30. By the time I wrapped up, I sent it to him at 5:00.
Oh man.
And by 8:00, he had it done and ready to go to the AEW brass. And he called me. He's like, everyone approved it. What everyone doesn't hear is that there's 2 verses that I wrote as well. So it sounds like I just wrote one line, right? But I actually wrote 2 verses, and that version will see the light of day at some point. We just don't know what yet. Once AEW heard it and Tommaso heard it, they're like, well, with all the grandiose shit that's going to happen over the next couple weeks with this, let's just leave the music to speak for itself, and the humming, which will be a call and answer with the wrestler. And the fans I guarantee the fans starting this week will be like, they'll start doing that call and answer. So yeah, everything happens super fast. And like I said, I can't wait for everyone to hear the full version with the verses, because that was the other part that like I had to really dig into. So yeah, last week was fuck. There's more to this, but there's that,
Yeah.
So the version that's up on iTunes and everything, that's just the version that they're playing on AEW TV.
Correct.
Okay. So it just dropped on iTunes, Spotify, all the streamings. So if you have those, download that to your phone or whatever,
download it, play it, because I have writing credit on that. So like every time it's like I'm hoping this blows up as big as any other theme song because that could help pay for a few things like my national grid bill, which is going to be through the goddamn roof this month, so.
Jesus. It's bad. It is. That's awesome, dude. It really is.
And in his first match, he beat Mark Briscoe for the TNT title now. So first match. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And he's going to be, it's going to be a main event. Their big pay-per-view is next month, Revolution.
Yep.
I believe March 15th. And that will be, he'll be probably defending the title. I don't see him losing the title before then, but then again, I don't freaking know what happens.
Now he's a pretty big, he's got a pretty big.
Well, just coming over too. That's, that helps him.
He was always an independent kind of darling guy too before he went into WWE. Now he wrestled for the 2CW local independent promotion here in Syracuse a couple times before he went to the WWE. Yeah. He was one of those big.
He's an OG, man. He's been around, and I think, and I'll jump ahead a little bit in the story because then yesterday I was in the middle of doing some other stuff, and then I got a text message, and I'm like, I don't recognize this number, and I opened it up and thought it was one of those spams ones, like, hey Sheila, are you meeting me for the barbecue today? Those text messages that you get on a daily basis, and it was Tommaso. And he reached out. He's like, hey, man, I hope you don't mind that Mickey gave me your number. I just wanted to reach out and just say thank you. And wrote me this really heartfelt text message. And I responded to him. And I thought that was going to be the end of it. Next thing you know, we're texting for 2.5 hours yesterday, getting to know each other. And I'm like, man, you are the coolest dude. But without getting into everything that we talked about, he is really happy that he's over at AEW because I think he's finally going to get the love and the attention that he deserves as a wrestler. You can get lost in the WWE because they have everybody. It's the WWE,
Right. Yep.
But I think he's doing that. And the one thing that I will definitely say from that conversation, he could have re-signed with WWE. It wasn't like they weren't going to re-sign him. He had the offer. But AEW was allowing him to put his family first. And if you see any of the videos of him coming through the curtain the other night after he won the title, the first person on the other side of that curtain was his daughter.
Nice.
And he goes, dude, he goes, this is all about my family. I wanted to have my family first. The backstage at WWE is pretty toxic at times. AEW has this whole different vibe. And his wife is a former pro wrestler too.
Yep.
So she knows the business. She's a TV producer now, I think, for TV shows on Discovery and Animal Planet and all that shit. So, but man, and we made a pact yesterday. He's like, dude, he goes, you're my guy. No matter whatever remixes or everything you do, you got to be with me on this journey. So nice. I felt like I had to get off the bus yesterday. I wanted to call my mom and be like, Mom, I made a new friend today, So
that's good. Good on you, Joe.
Yeah.
Good for you, buddy.
Way to go, man.
I'm so proud of you, dude.
Yeah, it's so happy for you.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep posting about it on social media because there's so many sides to this story. And the crazy thing is that my voice with the Big Show, and some people won't even know who the Big Show is, but that theme song has become a meme on the internet. And on a weekly basis, that clip goes viral. That goes viral all the time. And I always comment hey, that's me singing. And some people are like, you're full of shit. I'm like, it's pretty easy to find out that I'm not full of shit, but whatever. But it's brought so much attention to me. And with this, it's kind of just put me in I was a footnote in wrestling history. Now I'm more than a footnote. I've kind of I'm a part of the whole story now.
I was just going to say that. Yep. You're a part of it now.
If he told me when I watched the first WrestleMania on pay-per-view as, I don't know, what was that, 84, 85? I was 10 or 11 years old.
85, yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and that I'm a part of this whole crazy business.
Pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Cool. All right, man. Thank you for your time, Joe.
Oh, of course. Anytime for you guys, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right,
see you.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Awesome.
Couldn't have a better dude.
Man, that is tremendous, though. And like he said, and he was emphasizing it, and he's exactly right. Getting that co-writing thing. Oh, now it's royalties, man. Now it's royalties. Now you get paid.
Listen, we like singing, we like performing, but
you like getting paid.
We like getting paid.
And he deserves to be paid. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was Boy,
It's got the humming in the beginning. The people know it. As soon as it hits, people are going to know it. And then when his voice comes out, everybody's going to sing that when they.
Wow.
That's the whole thing now with wrestling. The theme is kind of become part of the show.
Oh, really?
When guys come out, people are singing the song past it, the musical shut off, and people still can continue singing the songs. Yeah,
that's great. Boy, that's as a musician, that's exactly what you want, right?
You want.
Let's stage our next guest, because Don Kazant is here, and we this is a back in the day segment, because
back in the day,
Don and I can't remember how many years it's been since you and I met.
It was in the early days of craft brewing, right?
Yes, it was in the very early days. Yes.
Hey, you guys didn't tell me I was following Just Joe. That's not fair. You can't do that to me.
Do you got any wrestling theme songs, Don?
I wrestled a beer once and won.
There you go.
So you have retired now after many years with the papers and Syracuse.com. And we, of course, Bill and I loved your stuff, loved reading it, counted on it. Do you find, Don, that now that going out has become more expensive? Okay. Even going to a place like a craft brewery has become much more expensive than it originally was. Do you find that people rely on things like Yelp and you guys and the paper and Syracuse.com to know whether a place is good or not?
Well, yes, certainly things are more expensive, and people have to make good, solid choices of where they go and what they're buying. I'd like to think that we can help direct people to where to go, but I'll be honest with you. I look at a lot of sites, our site and Yelp and Facebook and Where Syracuse Eats, which is our site, by the way. The problem I have with those myself is that somebody says, "Hey, is Dinosaur good?" And you get yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So
right.
It's up to the consumer of the information to make sense of it. So there's a lot of noise out there.
Yeah, there is, but I think
the consumer, the reader, has to be savvy enough to make sense of what they're getting.
Well, I think that's where you come in, right? And people like you. I think it helps people make sense of stuff. And let's talk about the craft beer industry now, because it seems to me that the peak is over, and some are surviving and some are falling by the wayside, which is probably the way that it is. But with the younger generation drinking much less, which has a lot to do with it, I mean, it'll survive, but I don't think it'll ever be what it once was.
Yeah, it definitely will survive. I never did pull a trigger before I retired on a story that looked at this, because it's a very fluid thing. 12 fluid ounces. Yes, I read a lot that the current generations are drinking less in general. And of course, when they are drinking, they're drinking seltzers, hard seltzers, or ready-to-drink cocktails.
Yep.
Or NA.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So the what's out there. So it's affecting all of the industry, and there's other factors affecting the industry too. A lot of breweries, many breweries have closed around the country. I think in Rochester alone, there's been like 5 of the big breweries that have closed in the last 3 or 4 months. I got to say, here in Central New York, we've been relatively spared from that. The couple of breweries that closed in the last few years here, I'm thinking of IBU as an example, and the other one up in North Syracuse. They almost instantly got taken over by a successful brewery with a satellite tap room.
Right.
So we don't have vacant spaces that used to be breweries. We have some going. Full Bore was the other. Full Bore in North Syracuse and IBU in North Syracuse both closed, and both were within a few months taken over as the satellite for, like Heritage Hill took over the Full Bore space.
Yes.
Willow Rock took over the South Bay Road place, the greenhouse one.
Which I don't. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, we don't have vacancies. We have some businesses going out, and the stronger businesses taking over with satellites. So in that sense, I would say Syracuse and Central New York has been spared some of the problems that you've seen in other places.
Yeah, true. And Willow Rock is actually very good. We enjoy that. The ones that have survived are all very good. And I'm very happy to see that the Clark's roast beef sandwich has made a comeback because Clark's was my favorite place to go back in the day.
Yes, you're talking about Crooked Cattle
Yes.
in Armory Square, the former Starbucks. Yep, and you know it's a twofer there in Armory Square because Crooked Cattle always has the Clark's roast beef on, and Darwin, the other lunch spot there, occasionally has it. And I just noticed that I think this week they've got their version of the Clark roast beef on too.
Really?
So you can find 2 versions of the old Clark's roast beef in Armory Square right now. So
that was a fabulous bar.
I missed the space.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good space. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about the original Clark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the second Clark's was fine. I liked it, but nothing could match the original Landmark building.
Oh, it was,
and it was,
spectacular.
the space is one thing, but as you know, the thing that makes a bar is the people, the crowd. That I think it opened in 1992. So that 90s, early 2000s crowd was those were my people.
Me too. And we used to have a group of us once a week would go to Clark's and smoke cigars in the kind of side room there that was off of the bar. It was a great place. But there's a lot of great places.
Do you remember you could always spot a newbie at the old Clark's where they would be at the bar and they'd be heading for the restroom and they'd turn into the dartboard.
Yeah.
and that was I remember being there on a St. Patrick's Day when and there was a crowd of people cheering every time somebody mistakenly went into the dartboard, like
So will you miss what you've been doing for all this time, Don, or will you move on to something else?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I worked at the Syracuse newspapers because there were 2 of them when I started. For 40 years. I worked in journalism for a couple of years before that in the Chicago area. So yeah, anything you do for 40 plus years, you're going to miss. Yesterday was my first. I mean, I retired as of Friday, but yesterday was a day when I woke up and thought, "Wow, I don't have to do this anymore." I'm going to stay in it a bit. I am, in fact, working on a project. You may know I have a couple of books. I did a guide to New York breweries about 15 years ago, and I did a distillery and cocktail guide to upstate New York 5 or so years ago. Right now, I'm on a big project, and I mean big, big. A group of 4 other guys and I are working on a book that is a complete history of brewing and beer in New York State from colonial times to the present. I could tell you, if you've ever written anything with anyone, when you have 5 writers on a project, it's huge. I'm the first of the 5 to retire from a full-time job, so I think it will be my duty to help take out the chainsaw and get it down to size. Wow. The good news for us is we will be when we get it down to size and edited and everything, it will be, we believe, we have a deal to publish it with Syracuse University Press.
Excellent.
So,
very good.
Wow.
And they're very good. So
fantastic. Well, I look forward to that and my signed copy when it comes out. I'll give you the address later.
It's your doorstep. It'll weigh about 16.
It's going to be a coffee table book.
It could be a coffee table on the book.
Outstanding. Don, thanks for your time, man. And congratulations on your retirement. I wish you the best, especially with this project. I can't wait.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll have you on when the book's out, Don.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's great. That'd be great.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Don Kazant, who has just retired, 40 years. Wow.
He was out, but he was a part of the when you did the Yahoo Brew.
Yes, he was.
Empire Brewing.
That was awesome. Which sold out. I still have the
glasses
and a T-shirt. Yep. From that. That was fun, man. Was
some of the only stuff I kept of the.
Yeah, me too. So we need to talk about a few more things because I don't know why way more isn't being made of Savannah Guthrie's mother being kidnapped.
I know.
It's like, what the, you can hardly even see it. It's like, wait a minute. She's on the Today Show. Her mother's been they found blood in her mother's house.
Yeah. And it just came out. Like,
I know,
that
it's
stuff
weird.
Just came out.
It's really weird. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of strange.
And there's been no ransom.
I know. It's really weird. And I thought it like lead the national news shows. It was like 5th or 6th. I'm like, what are you doing? Wow. I don't know. I would make much more of it personally, but maybe they don't want to. Also, I forgot, while we did our Yahoo of the week, I forgot the good news story of the week. And this kind of goes along with a theme lately, because It's the people who own New Century. They're opening a new cafe, and it's a Vietnamese cafe. And so now you'll have a Vietnamese cafe, right? You got the Dubai Chocolate Cafe, right, on Sweetheart Corners there.
Yep.
And then across the street is that other cafe, which is not a real American coffee, if you want to call it that. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's more of like the designer coffee, the
Yes.
7 brews or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's houses, I mean, places opening all over the place that is like, different types of coffee and stuff. I like seeing that. I really like seeing that. Go to Europe and you get all kinds of different stuff. And, here it's catching on here now, which is really good to see.
And it's all right here in the Cicero, North Syracuse
Yeah.
area.
Yeah. Although, again, they still haven't done anything with the Rite Aid building,
No.
which is a disgrace. Although I'm sure they want a fortune for it.
They just turned the Rite Aid in Cicero, the one on Thompson,
Yeah.
into Ace Hardware.
Oh, really? I like Ace Hardware.
Yeah.
We have an Ace Hardware right near us. And you go in there and it's like I was a kid. It's a wooden floor,
the one in the across from Seneca Mall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's his name? Still owns that. Sal
okay.
Casale. Another local musician. He owns that whole plaza.
He does?
Yeah, that whole area.
Nice.
Yeah.
Home Team Pub?
Home Team. I think he owns the
Wow.
building. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
That's the old gin mill.
That's another place too. It's
Love their wings.
hidden gem is Home Team Pub.
Love their wings. We just went there for
Yeah,
wings.
you talk about that. He's
And-
got a new place out in Lysander too, in the golf course.
Oh, he does?
Yep.
Oh, you mean at the Nicholas course there? The really nice.
Timberbanks.
Yeah, Timberbanks. Yeah. That's a Nicholas designed course. It's a Nicholas company designed course. You don't get Jack
I remember
Nicklaus.
back in the day we had because what's his name was
Perry Nouns,
his son was
general
involved in it.
manager.
Yeah.
You don't get Jack unless you're ponying up a
Yeah,
few
oh, yeah.
million more. You get some of his design people to come out and look at it. Although he may have come out and look at the land once. I don't remember. But it's a Nicholas course. So that means for people who golf, the Nicholas course means you have giant greens and they undulate all over the place. So it's a tough course, but it's nice. It's really nice. It's one of the newer courses around, if you want to call it that, but it's nice. So Martin says the Hulk House in Clearwater is up for sale.
Yeah, Hulk's house.
Better
The
get
big
on
house.
now. Was it like 2.3,
Yeah.
3.7?
Now he's got two stores in Florida. He's got one in Clearwater, Hulk Hogan's Beach Shop. He's got one in Orlando, right by Universal, the beach shop. And then he's got a restaurant in Clearwater. And he's now got I don't know if it's going to open. It was supposed to open before he passed, but he's got one right across the street from MSG ready to go.
Wow.
They were like in the final steps of it when he passed.
And he
yeah.
passed away. Wow. So what's it like?
The stores?
Yeah.
He's just all a bunch of
Hulk stuff?
Hulk t-shirts. There's figures, belts, high-end
Right.
collectibles.
The collectibles,
Yeah.
right? Sure.
All of his signed stuff. You can, back in the day, you could send stuff into the shop and pay for it, and he would sign it.
Awesome.
It was like $1.50 a signature.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Not
now,
anymore.
You ain't getting it anymore. I have a baseball mitt, a Hulkamania baseball mitt. Somebody gave it to me a long time ago, and I've kept it.
Really?
I used to have that. My one of my display cases used to be all Hulk Hogan stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's turned into Braves now.
Yes. I'll look it up for you. I think that's it. I'm not sure. I had some other stuff I wanted to talk about. but of
I just
course
wanted to talk about my
yes,
my Toronto
yes.
area.
Yes,
I
thank you.
took Aria's birthday. We talked about this before. For Christmas and birthdays and stuff, we do experiences.
Yep.
So she has taken a liking of the band Ghost, which is great because they're one of my favorite bands.
Yes,
so
they
I'm,
are. I know they
and I can't say too much. Everything that I've taken her to that she likes is always it's been good.
It's been good, right? Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly, this band called Mother from Canada was fantastic. But we went to Ghost at the big arena in Toronto. And I'll tell you, I would equate Toronto to New York City as in for the arts.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
you know, that's Canada's New York City.
Yes,
that's
it
where all
is.
the Broadway stuff is, all the entertainment right there. Weekend was on a Saturday. I think I was staying in downtown. I paid $140 for a nice hotel room.
Beautiful.
Clarion, Cambridge Suites.
Okay.
So we were smack dab right in downtown.
All right.
So my daughter's she's got, when we're on the road trips, we get there, she got to rest before we do anything. Got to take a minute, got to get in the room, she's got to rest. So I needed some things.
I like it.
I needed some things at the drugstore across the street. So I said, I'm going to take a walk. I'll be right back. What I didn't expect to see was how much the homelessness is in Toronto. How it's strikingly bad. Now, it was 9 degrees Saturday. I walk out the doors of my hotel. I take a right and then another left, and I'm right on Yonge Street, which is the big street.
Yep, that's the main drag.
Yes, and the mall is there.
Through
the
downtown
Eaton Center.
Yeah,
the Mervish Theater. Everything's right on Yonge
everything's
Street.
there. Yep.
And there's also homeless people, not just walking around milling. They are laying on top of subway grates to keep warm with numerous blankets. And now they're in the middle of the sidewalk where you walk to go, to the light to walk across the street.
Yep. And
there's a lot of garbage around. There's, one guy had a dog with him, but you just don't see that here.
No.
That bad. I mean, it's cold.
Yeah.
And these people have to get to these subway grates early enough so that they're available. And they're there all day and all night laying on these subway grates. And I'm not disparaging anything. I wouldn't want to be in that position. I'm thankful that I'm not in that position, but and I saw at one point 2 Canadian police walk up to the guy and ask him if he needed anything, and he refused. He just wanted to stay there and keep warm.
So I'm thinking that when you told me all this, I'm thinking that in Canada, you must have to ask for help from the authorities, right?
Yeah.
So they probably just can't snag you and take you where you need to go. That's an awful thing. It really is.
Awful.
That's terrible.
I cannot imagine just being outside. For the time that I was. I mean, I was a half a mile from the arena, and we didn't even walk because it was so cold.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the means of public transportation. We were right below a subway, but we were also a $5 Uber ride to the arena.
Right. $5. Wow.
Yeah. So it was a great show. As all the times I've been to Toronto, I'd never seen it like that. I don't think I've ever been into Toronto when it's this cold, either in the winter, usually in the summertime when I go. So it made me think how thankful I am and how lucky I am that I get to, go into a home every night and that I have the means to pay for things. But
yeah,
it's bad. It's real bad.
I'm going to look into that. I'm going to look further into that because that's awful. Because you know what? When way back in the day, I haven't been to Toronto in many, many years, but way back in the day, what did people always say about Toronto?
It's clean.
It's so clean. It was spotless. And Yonge Street was awesome back in the day. And I'm sure it still is.
And that mall is just, it's ginormous.
Phenomenal.
It's under the ground, above ground. It's all over the place.
It is. It's crazy.
We went over there for lunch on Saturday. But everything was really easy to get to.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'll tell everybody, if you have a chance, I'd rather go to, if you have the way, because I have my license is enhanced, so I can go to Canada. It's cheaper to go to concerts and do things in Canada than it is, going to Philly or New York City or anywhere.
And right now, the exchange rate is really good.
Yeah. Very good. 38%.
Is it really?
Yeah, 38%.
Holy cow.
Between 35 and 38%.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's great. And it's really interesting to me that you introduce your daughter to like bigger cities and stuff like that. It's very important, I think, for kids to be, at least to be not afraid of going to a big city. You know what I mean? That's awesome. And Toronto's a great city to pick, except for that. Wow.
Yeah. And then I got to go to, there's one of the labels of boutique labels of movies that I watch, Vinegar Syndrome. They have a storefront in Toronto. So
really? Yeah, that's right. You sent the picture.
It's like so overwhelming because like they have everything in their titles there, and you just kind of
that you want.
And it's not the store is about as big as my basement. It's not that big of a store, but it's got everything you want. It was cool. If I didn't have any restraint, I would have, came home broke, and my wife would have killed me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. That's a great trip, though.
Yeah, it was fun.
What did you take? 2 days?
Yeah, we went up. Early Saturday, came home Sunday.
Yeah,
later Sunday.
Awesome. And you got a cheap hotel room right downtown.
It was great. It was like one of those suites. So Aria had her own area. I had my own area, and
awesome.
Cold business. Waiting for the Uber after, especially being in that arena where it's hot, and then you go outside in the cold. You see the steam coming off my head. The show was great, and I talked about it last time when we saw him in the summer. It's a no cell phone show, so you got to put the phone in the pouch. It makes it so much better. The only thing that this time I forgot to wear my watch, so I didn't know what time it was. Luckily there was a guy a couple of rows ahead of me that had a watch, because you get there early enough. We got there early enough. We're like, geez, what time is? You don't know what time it is.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
I got to go to the bathroom. Should I go now or?
Kind of feels untethered. It's like I can't exist without.
And the other thing that kind of almost bit me in the butt was, all of my cards that I use for anything are virtual. I have them on my phone, so I tap.
Oh, okay.
I keep the one with me for the hotel and stuff, but she wanted something from the merchandise stand. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I have my cards with me to get it.
Right.
And because you can't, my phone, they don't let you have the phone.
For those of you who don't attend concerts like JR, I attend some. What are merchandise prices?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you the whole, there's a whole thing now. Merchandise is a whole thing.
Yes. Much more so than it used to be.
The lines for merchandise are insane. So literally around the entire, there was hour wait for, now my daughter wanted this hoodie that when you put your arms out, it had the bat wings. It was a ghost. It was what the backup singers wear, is kind of what they were. So, but it was like a hoodie. So this thing was, I'm not lying to you, 175 Canadian dollars, which is about 130 American dollars. And
is it a high quality piece?
It is. It's nice. Okay, it's nicely made. The wings are nice. But
did you get it for her?
I didn't get it for her. Mother sent me money and said, I'll get it for her, because between tickets and rooms and stuff,
gosh, that's enough's enough.
But it's a whole thing. So we have to make a plan to get the merchandise. We have to wait until the show starts to go get it. Because I said, I'm not standing in line and missing any of the show before. I'll go out during one of the slower songs. I'll grab it. And we were right where our section was. There was literally, I got up. It was not one person in line. About halfway through the show, grabbed it for her, went right back in, even before the next song started.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So it was good.
That's really good.
And the show was 2 hours on the dot, production value throughout. And there was little bit differences from the show that I saw in the summer in Baltimore. But
do they do an opener?
Nope. No opener. Starts and the ticket time is 9 p.m. It says right at the ticket, 9 p.m. Doors at 8, show at 9.
And they went on at 9?
They right as the arm hit the 0 at the 12, they were on stage with their little intro, and
that's great.
They did this one song. It was off of their album, was their last album, called Call Me Little Sunshine. I think it won a Grammy, or was nominated for a Grammy. They were nominated this year. They didn't win. So the lore of Ghost is it's almost like a tongue-in-cheek take on the Catholic Church.
Right? Yeah, hierarchy.
Yes. So the singer is a different character every album, but it's the same guy. But it's Papa 1, Papa 2, Papa Emeritus 3, Cardinal Copia. Now he's Papa 5 Emeritus, and so he comes out in normal wear. Back when they first started, it looked like a pope.
Yeah.
With the big hat, and he wore that the whole entire time. Then as the tours went on, he'd start that way, and then it would come off after a few songs, and now he just comes out as he's got a mask on. It's the first time the mouth isn't covered. He had these prosthetic masks where the mouth, but now it's open, and it actually sounds a little better too.
Wow.
But there's one song he got the whole Pope costume back on, and they lift him in the air like they did with Wicked, with the Defying Gravity, and he's like halfway up in the air doing the Call Me Little Sunshine song. It was great. It was cool.
Wow.
And I've seen him I don't know, a dozen times at
Now
least.
it's also it's a whole thing, right? I mean, it's a whole.
There's a storyline.
Yeah.
There's a whole backstory to. You don't need to know, because the music's, for me, it's very good, but there's a whole lore. There's a whole storyline. There's a comic book.
Yeah,
there's a whole thing. It's a whole entertainment in it. The last tour, they filmed the last show in L.A. that tied up a lot of the videos and stuff that they were doing, and they released it as a
smart
as a thing. The guy's printing money at this point because he
absolutely.
is the sole owner of Ghost.
Oh, geez.
And those people on stage with him are just studio musicians, in his band. But he writes the writing credit on almost every song is A Nameless Ghoul, which is him.
Wow.
Yeah. And it wasn't until recently that people saw him without his mask on, and the only reason that was his original band tried to sue him when he got popular, and that didn't work.
No, usually doesn't.
He's a genius. Everything he does
seems to be. Yes, he's a
a
business genius. I'll tell you that.
And our friend Mary Jo worked with him too.
Really,
and on the tour, that was the last tour I saw her 2 tours ago, and she did the production stuff, and the production value is just
it's got to be just off the charts.
There's a big screen now in the back of the stage
behind them
that morphs into stuff, and they had these inflatable columns that made it look like you were walking into a church.
Wow.
And then when the first act got done, that like the screen made it look like a stained glass crashing, and the columns fell, and then the next part of the show started. It was cool. It was just hey, there's some people in that audience that paid $400 and $500 for a ticket, and this is 2-hour show.
Yeah,
you've got to give them everything you can in that 2 hours, or people aren't going to come. And it was sold out. And this is a pretty big arena. It's a major city arena.
Yeah,
I think it's the old Maple Leaf Gardens that they just
renamed and redid.
Yeah. Scotiabank Arena.
Cool. All right, that's going to do it for this edition. Man, we covered a lot of stuff, and the guests were awesome as always. Joe is something else. And Bill Fitzpatrick and Don Kazan. I mean, we're just blessed to have people coming on the pod.
And I'm going to have that Fitzy interview taken out if you want to watch it again.
Yeah.
I'll do it just with that so you can understand where he's coming from.
Do the right thing, man. That's what I say.
That's it.
Take care of yourselves, okay? And God willing, we're all back at it next time on the Jim Reith Show Unleashed podcast.